So I dove into a little bit more Balzac tonight in volume 3 of my set, reading a novella from Balzac titled A Second Home. And tell me why I allowed myself to believe that Balzac was just giving us a nice love story, a nice romance. I don't know why I allowed myself to be deluded like that. I know Balzac doesn't give us, peaceful, happy endings. Things don't typically work out. Things work out in the rarest of rare cases. And what Balzac gave us in this novella was not a love story, but a tragedy. We open with a poorer neighborhood in Paris and two women sitting and embroidering and sewing for most of the hours of the day. Balzac paints a perfect picture showing us just how long these women have to embroider and sew each day and how desperate they are in terms of their living circumstances. And then he shows us a sad gentleman in need of companionship. And they meet, they fall in love. This gentleman falls in love with the daughter. It's a mother and daughter. Falls in love with Caroline. And we get a time jump where she is now his mistress. And you think, oh, this is lovely. They're happy. Everybody's happy. And then, of course, we find out he has a wife. And it turns out this is not a love story. This is a portrait of what an affair looks like in a marriage and how tragically these affairs end for everybody. You would think, having read Cousin Bet, I would know exactly how this story was going to end, but apparently I had momentarily forgotten just how tragic and savage Balzac can be, and deluded myself into thinking it would be a happy ending. It was not a happy ending, neither for the Count's wife, who had a very religious upbringing outside of Paris and who would have rather joined a convent, but committed herself to marriage and confused love with duty, not for his wife, not for him, and not for his mistress Caroline, and certainly not for Caroline's mother, not for the priest, and not for the doctor who he met on the street, not really for anybody at all. It was a gut-wrenching ending, but I have to say I did enjoy it, and it was a good sort of introductory way to ease myself back into Balzac, because the opening to this novella was phenomenal. I would have to say this is some of Balzac's best writing, just in terms of description, in terms of setting the scene, in terms of writing of characters. Even if I felt like we should have gotten a little bit more. It felt like he was setting the structure for a novel and then just skipped over writing some scenes and gave us some massive time jumps. But this was A Second Home by Honoré de Balzac.